Alright, I'm checking this check out. So today we're going to talk a little bit about home training. Now I made a video a number of years ago now, but that was on my old channel which is deleted. So I want to talk a little bit more about it today, because obviously it's relevant in today's current climate. So a lot of us people who are into the gym and train and that, we now have to train at home. And hopefully you invested in some sort of kit last year, because I'm not too sure about you, but I knew back last summer when they opened things back up in the UK, I knew back last summer that there'll be another several lockdowns coming after that, okay? And I knew that, so since I knew that, that's why I went and invested on pieces of equipment. So I've got the gym. I've got a little gym set up in my living room now, and like I said, yeah, because I knew what was going to happen. If you're clued up about about the scandemic, you'll know. But I don't really want to go too much into that anyway. We need to talk about what piece of equipment at home that can you use, and what works, and stuff like that. Pretty simple, really. It's not a long-winded video. Now, if you know how to train, guess what? All you need is a barbell, okay? And if you can afford it, some dumbbells as well, okay? But for the most part, you can work your entire body maximally with just a barbell, okay? And I'd love for someone to try and tell me different. If you try and tell me different, that means you don't have to fucking train, okay? Now, of course, we don't have the luxuries that we would have at the gym, like rowing machines or cable machines. They're just luxuries. Or like lion leg curls for your hamstrings, stuff like that. And pull downs, they're just luxuries. I'm talking about the bare bone minimum. The bare bone minimums will get you fucking big, strong as fuck. Simple as that, okay? Why? Because I know how to train, and I've been training this way since I started this fucking gym journey, okay? Now, yeah, because this is what will separate the people. The people the people who having a hard time with the piece of equipment that they've got, or have a hard time training at home, is because they don't know how to train in the first place, okay? They'll go to the gym, move from this piece of equipment to that piece of equipment to this, that. They'll just dart around to different pieces of equipment, doing these bullshit exercises, doing these subpar bullshit exercises, okay? That's why they don't know how to fucking train. So, the bare bones minimum, all you need is a barbell, okay? And a rack. That's it. So once you've got, I'm on about an Olympic barbell as well. An Olympic barbell. If you can afford an Olympic barbell, great. So get Olympic barbell, some Olympic weights, obviously, some weight plates, and if you can get some dumbbells, you can't go wrong with a pair of dumbbells. We can put some weight on top of it. You can't go wrong with that, Again, dumbbells is a luxury. You don't need dumbbells, It's good to do. You can do lateral raises with dumbbells. I think that's probably only one of the benefits of dumbbells for me. I can do lateral raises, but again, that's not really here or there. Really, once you've built that size up from all the years of training, if you're training properly and you've built all the size up in your delts from various movements, from like a lot of heavy pressing and stuff like that, you don't necessarily need dumbbells to do lateral raises. You don't really need that, okay? But anyway, let's just stick to the barbell, okay? Now let's talk about the barbell a bit more. So if you got a rack, great. If you don't, you need to. Anyone out there who hasn't got a rack, get a fucking rack, so you can do squats, so you can do bench, okay? This is why you're gonna need a fucking rack, okay? So you can get big and jacked as you want with just a barbell. Now let's just run through some of the exercises that you can do with a barbell. Let's start from the bottom to the top. So we're gonna work on our shoulders. What can we do for our shoulders with a barbell? We can do the press, aka military press, aka barbell press. Yeah, so we can do that. That's gonna put some nice meat onto your shoulders, okay? Bread and butter, basic, which works, okay? Not only that, you can do front raises with it as well, with the bar. Yep, front raises. Not many people do front raises with a barbell. They do it with dumbbells, don't they? But yes, you can do front raises with a barbell. You can also target the medial and rear head of your deltoids by doing, if you bend over at 90 degrees as if he's doing a barbell row, you can put your arms wider, like a wide grip, and basically pull up and drop down, like put it up and drop down. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a row, but it's not. We're not pulling. We're not doing it as if to work our back. We're doing it to work our shoulders. So your arms instead of your arms pulling back towards your waist, your arms will be more or less pulling straight up, basically. You know. So look, we just targeted the whole deltoid with just the bar. Now let's get to the chest. Self-explanatory, bench press, whether it's an incline, flat, or decline. The bench press is going to put the most size and power on you than anything else. Simple as that. I don't even need to go into detail about that. All them fancy flies and shit, bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Back. Now, what we can do for back? Now, we can do a couple of different things. We can do the barbell row. We can do overhand or underhand barbell row. Again, this is one of the most bread and butter exercises you can do for your back. And it's an overall back builder, okay? Again, doing other little exercises like the cable row with different attachments and stuff, and like the pull downs, different attachments, yes, that may target little parts of your back a little bit more. But we're not in that situation, are we? Okay, so we're not in that situation, so we're going to go for the most overall basic exercise, what's going to put slabs of meat on your back, which is the barbell row, okay? No one can tell me different. You can do the barbell row. You can also do, what do people call it? There's a couple of different names for it, but it's almost like a T-bar row, but, you know, we get the bar in the corner, and you stand over the bar and you pull the bar. You got the attachment there, and you pull to your lower chest or to your midsection. Basically, you can do that. You can also do that with one arm, which mimics the one arm dumbbell row. Again, you stand next to the bar. If you've got place the bar on the corner somewhere, make sure it's not going to lift up. Again, just put it up nice, and that's how we do it. Simple as that. So just there, 3 exercises there, but you can do indoors safely. And no, I'm not missing out deadlifts. If you got a gym set up where it's not necessarily inside your flat or your house, let's say you're outside somewhere, great, you can do deadlifts. Brilliant. I'm not saying that's the ultimate. I'm not saying you can't get a big back without deadlifts, because you can. But I don't necessarily do deadlifts no more. And my back's just fine. But if people want to do deadlifts, fine, again. So we just named 4 key exercises there to build our back with just the bar. So the barbell row, bar overhand or underhand, the T-bar row, the one arm row, and the deadlift. That's 4. Okay, 4. And one what doesn't need a barbell at all is the pull-up or the chin-up. So look, we can work our back maximally. Don't get me wrong, I like using the cable row if it's there. I love that machine because it's got that constant tension. Great. Again, but majority of people haven't got that luxury, so we're not talking about that. Don't worry about it. Your back will be just fine. Now let's go down to the bottom now. So we're gonna talk about our glutes, hams, and quads. Now, how are we gonna do that? Squats. Simple as that. Squats is an overall leg builder. I'm sure we all know that. So we got squats. What's gonna target? Wait, this target. Well, there's debate on how much it targets the hamstrings, the quads, whatever. But let's say it targets the quads more. Obviously, it targets the quads more. Secondary, the hamstrings, and the thirdly, the glutes. Okay, so that's the overall leg builder. Okay, now moving on from that, how are we going to target our hamstrings and glutes? By doing good mornings and by doing Romanian deadlifts. Okay, so there we go. And how do you target our calves? Do you ask? Well, guess what? If you're handling a lot of weight, yeah. If you're stabilizing a lot of weight by doing heavy squats and Romanian deadlifts, trust me, your calves are getting worked. Believe that, okay? So don't worry about your calves. If need be, if you really want to target your calves, fair enough. Get some sort of like step or something you can, just something you can at least probably about 5 inches where you can step onto, and then basically just do calf raises with a barbell on your back. Okay, so we can do that. So again, nothing's being left out here. Okay, and obviously I haven't mentioned. Well, there's a couple of things I've kind of missed out a little bit, but not really. People like to target traps, don't they? They want to target traps like it's separate. To be honest, if you're doing deadlifts and barbell rows and overhead presses, your traps are being targeted. Don't worry about that. But again, you can do shrugs, can't you? We can do shrugs with a barbell. Right, there we go. And abs. Abs. You can actually use a barbell for this one if you really want to, but it's not really, it's a bit, it's not really ideal. You don't really need to use them at that much space. Now, I was going to say, if you've got an ab roller, use that, okay? Which is inexpensive and it targets your abs just fine, but you can do a similar thing with a barbell. Put some little 5K weights on the side and like push it out as if you were doing it on an ab roller machine, and then put it back in as if, if you've got the space to do that and you want to do it that way, great. But I don't do that personally. I just use the ab roller because it works just fine, and you can do that anywhere. Okay. So that's basically the whole body worked with just a barbell. Now I beg someone trying to tell me different. You won't and you can't. The only people who don't know about these kind of things are the people who were mentioned earlier who don't know how to fucking train in the first place. You know what I mean? Too busy doing all these fluffy bullshit movements in the gym. But guess what though? These same people who don't fucking look like shit. You look like a sack of potatoes. You don't even look like you fucking train. You look like a fucking tennis player. Get the fuck out of here, man. So yeah, you can build your body to however you want it to be with just a fucking barbell. All free weight movements. And it works. That's what I've got. I've just got a rack, a barbell, some weights, and it's working. Don't get me wrong, certain things, like I do like the leg press. I do like the horizontal. For my legs, I do like the horizontal leg press. I do like that. It does target my quads more direct. But at the end of the day, it still can't compare to the squat. Trust me, there's a period of time where I didn't do squats for a while and I was just doing leg presses. Guess what? My legs just didn't look as full, man. Just didn't. Because with the squat, Yeah, the way you can, the way it sits on your back, or if you do front squats or whatever, the way it sits on your back and the way you can spread your legs out, right? It's just that movement. It just targets the whole leg entirely different. You know what I mean? So there's no excuses out there now. Hopefully, a lot of people are investing in a barbell and a rack. Hopefully, you did. If you haven't, you might have to spend a little bit more money now, because there's robbing bastards out there now who are putting up some extortionate prices, taking advantage of people, fuckers. Yeah. But unfortunately, this is where we're at now. Invest. Depends how serious you are about your training. If you're serious about your training, you will sacrifice your living room or another room in your house, or sacrifice your back garden, whatever. You'll sacrifice that for it. I've done that. I basically right now live in a fucking one room fucking flat, because the living room is just taken over by the rack and weights and shit. But I don't give a fuck. Because in the training means a lot to me. You know? All I wanted to do since a little kid is train. That's all I want to do. And what it is, the thing is now, right? I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, you know, I've got the same motivation or the same drive as I would when I'll be able to finish work, get to the gym afterwards, or get up early in the morning, get to the gym, smash gym out again, and then head for the day's work, you know? I'm not saying I don't have that same drive. But I don't have the same drive, but I still do it anyway. And what happens now is like if you train at home, you have to train harder. Even though we're just doing the basics, we have to train harder. You have to train harder. Like usually I'll probably do about 6 sets of squats, and I'll probably do 4 sets of leg press, or 5 sets of leg press, or even 6, depending on how good I feel. Now it's just straight 10 sets of squats. Maybe 12 if I'm feeling good. You know? So you can get monotonous with certain exercises. I get that. So that's why you have to train harder. But if you're training harder at these basic free weight exercises where you can overload the muscle in its entirety, guess what? You'll get the results. You just have to get past that mental block. You know what I mean? To get past it, you have to train hard. You have to train harder. And you know, it's weird because I used to speak to people before all this shit was going on now. I used to know people who had like gym setups in their house and that. And they'll say to me, you know, like in their garage or whatever it was, and like they still wouldn't train because, you know, they didn't have that drive. Like when they finish work or whatever, like even though their fucking setups, their gym setup is just there, they don't have the same drive. I didn't understand that. I get it now. I get it. But instead of falling foul to that, I've accepted it and I'm getting on with it. I have to do it. Okay? Have to do it. So it's almost like you gotta force yourself into that habit. You're gonna have to force yourself to do these habits as you would do if the gym was open. You have to do it. Because if you start missing out days here and there, you just want to go right out the window. Believe that. And as for cardio, I've got a spin bike, okay? Not the best. The reason why it's not the best because I prefer the bikes in the gym because there's better padding on the seats. But I'm just happy that I got a piece of equipment that I can do cardio on. And no, I'm not going outside running because I've had a severe knee injury a number of years ago. And going out running will aggravate it to the highest. That's what I did the last major lockdown at the start. My knee was okay initially, but I used to go out running. Guess what? After about a couple of months, my knee fucked up, and I've been suffering again since then. So I don't do running outside. So now the The bike is just fine. It's low impact. Don't get me wrong, it's boring. I'm just sitting there, bored, I'm ahead. But again, you gotta get through it, man. Put something on TV. Make the most of it. Okay, you indoors, you don't want to do the cardio indoors, but put something on. Put the TV on. Alright, somehow the fucking video just turned itself off. But anyway, like I was saying anyway, it's not really that important, but I was just saying, put the TV on. Put the TV on. Put the music on. Whatever it takes for you to make that time pass to get your cardio done indoors. Do it. That's if you're doing it indoors. If you're good to go outside, then what I'm saying don't matter. Because if I could go outside, I'll be outside. Trust me. But if you can't, and you got a bike indoors, just put the music on, put the TV on, whatever you gotta do to get through it, and keep the good habits up, man. It's paramount. It's paramount that you gotta keep the good habits up. As much as you hate doing it, I don't like doing it, man. For someone who loves training, I don't want to be doing this shit in my house or in my flat even. I don't want to be doing it. I can't be arsed fucking doing it. Gotta be done now, innit? Gotta be done or lose all your fucking gains. I know people who didn't train at all during the first lockdown because, I don't want to train at home, man. I can't be bothered to do that. And they look like a sack of shit. They look even worse than they did before. Obviously, because they didn't fucking train. These people ain't serious to me anyway. You ain't serious about it. Oh yeah, one thing as well. Obviously, make sure you get a bench as well. I think I forgot that. Get a bench. Make sure you get a bench so you can do your bench press. Yeah, make sure you get a bench and that. And that's what you need really. A bench. Yeah, bench rack, barbell, some Olympic weights, and if you want, get some dumbbells. And you're good to go. Don't hear no bullshit that you can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, you can. I just brought down every exercise for your whole body. Okay? Done. And with that, I'm out.